Wow, February 2024, you did not disappoint. And we've seen some amazing figures. And I thought January we saw the big improvements. Well, February's been even more. So the figures that I'm going to talk about here, B90 through to B98. So we're talking the Solihull area and surrounding. And let me just give you an idea of what's happened. New instructions back in February 2023, we saw 494 come to the market, compared with February just gone, 720. That is a massive 45% increase. And that's pretty much unheard of. I mean, I thought it was a big increase last month, but this is huge. And then we move on to sales. And sales again, last February, 352 versus 490. Again, a massive 39% increase in volume. Now, what we've got to take into account is how many of those houses came off the market and how many of them cancelled the sale. These are very important figures to look at so we can get a realistic view of what's actually going on. Are people coming onto the market and then deciding not coming off? Are they coming on selling and then deciding not to move? So in February 2023, we saw 182 houses come off the market. So like I said previously, the new instructions for 494 minus nearly 39% of those came off the market. That's a pretty big withdrawal rate. But in February 2024, we saw an even bigger amount, 41%. So 41%. So we saw 720 houses come to market, but then we saw a huge amount come off the market. So we've got to work out what's going on here. Is it people getting overexcited because the market's starting to improve, getting on the market and then deciding otherwise? Is it bad service from estate agents? We need to keep a close eye on what's going on there. The fall through rate though has been really interesting. So back in February 2023, if you remember, it was just after the Liz Truss disaster. And I think a lot of people got spooked. So in February 2023, we saw a massive 32% of the sales agreed fall through. And fall through in our industry means cancelled. So they decided not to go ahead. Whether it was the buyer pulling out or the owners pulling out, they decided not to go ahead. And then this February, so February 2024 just gone, we only saw 22% fall through. So 22% cancelled sale. And what that means is that confidence in the market has come back. So yes, we're still seeing quite a big withdrawal rate, but we usually do, to be honest. But the fall through rate has dropped right down, which is fantastic news. Sitting at 22% fall through rate, the industry average is always in the 30s, and I've seen it as high as 37% before. So what does this mean for you? This means that with the massive 45% increase in houses that have come to the market, that means you've got a much bigger selection of houses to have a look at. What does this mean for you as a homeowner? Well, unfortunately, that means there's more competition on the market. So you might not be the only 4-bed detached in your area selling. There might be 2 or even 3 times more than usual. However, we've also seen that 39% hike in sales agreed. So we can see now that the market hasn't been flooded. So the sort of supply and demand balance is still holding up. We've seen that 45% increase in the amount of houses coming to market. And then we've seen a 40% increase or 39% increase in sales agreed. So there is that 5% difference there, which is something to watch. It might be the first signs of the market being flooded. And what I mean by that is there's too many houses coming onto the market, which means a buyer has more choice. So if they view your 4-bed detached, they might have the choice of 5 others. So they might make a low offer on yours, and if that doesn't get accepted, they've got other choices. Whereas when there's less houses on the market, they can only go for the one, so they'll have to pay the price it takes to actually get that property. So that 5% difference is just something to watch out for, so that we don't see too many houses coming onto the market. But just to summarize, at the moment, the market is looking great. It's not booming too much where we think, when's all this going to crash? But it seems the improvements are really, really strong. And if you come onto the market now, it's likely that you're going to get a good sale and you're going to have a good amount of stock, i.e. houses, to choose from. So if you want to have a chat with me about anything I've said in this market update, just get me on the details below and I'll see you soon. Cheers.